Good day. Welcome to King Wilmer's Everything. Guess what we got today? We have a micro SD card. It's kind of hard to see because it's in this package. But you want to know what kind of card this is? It's a 512 gigabyte, not megabyte, micro SD card. You know anything about SD cards currently? It's like April 2018. You can probably find 400 gigabyte micro SD cards and full-size SD cards that are 512 gigabyte, but you're looking at like for the 400 gigabyte, $225. This one cost, better sit down. Are you sitting down? Hold on, let's just sit down. $10. So do you think it's real? Do you really think a $10 512 gigabyte SD card is real? But it does have a name on it, Verbatim. So it's got a name on it. And it's a micro SD card, little reader. Comes with a little reader too, so you can put it in this little fellow. Thing that kind of has me baffled, this says USB cable. Maybe that should be a clue this is not real. And it says on the back, USB cable. And then it talks about a USB cable. What's more, it's no harm for children's skin. 24 karat gold plating copper contact. Material wire. The coat for this product is made from OTP. So, I think what we're going to do... Oh, look, it's even sealed. Sealed... Oh, no, it's not. Sealed for our protection. There. So, let's see what a $10 512 gigabyte SD card is like. Oh, this is gold, baby. Gold! $10. Okay, so, let's look at this piece first. Here's the little reader. You put your... Where do you put your SD card? Oh, you put your little micro SD card in that end. Jam it in, you can read. That's nice that they gave you that. $10, 512 gigabyte, and they give you a reader. Wow. These guys are generous. So let's take her out. I'm going to be gentle with this because this is gold, man. This is gold. You can see the back. It's hard to see it. It says, let me see, made in Taiwan. Wait, hold on. Let me look at that closer. I got to look at this really close. Made in Taiwan. Oh, quality made in Taiwan. And it does say, if you look really close, let's let it focus. Focus, baby. Focus. I don't know. Micro XC class 10? 512 gigabyte. Verbatim. So they did print that on there. It looks like it's actually printed on. It's not a sticker. Or is it a sticker? No, it's printed on. But anyway, we're holding a $10 micro SD card. 512 gigabyte. Do you believe that? I don't believe it at all. So I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to test this really quick. Oh, wait, hold on. Is that a sticker or is that printed? It's hard to tell. I don't know. I'm going to say it looks very fake-ish. I don't know. I've never seen a verbatim SD card. And would they glossy print it like that? I don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the computer and we're going to take a look at it. So let's take a look at it and see what we got. I bet you it's going to show up as 512 gigabyte. But when you start writing to it, it's going to write over and over. What do you think? Probably 8 gigabyte, 16 gigabyte, maybe $10. You know, hey, you know, they even put in this fancy USB cable package for me. Very nice. So let's try it out. Let's go to the computer and take a look. So you can kind of see here, we are using Is My Hard Drive Okay? And I like this app because it kind of gives some nice benchmarking. It's very simple. I actually tried several other ones, and this is the only one that I actually kind of completed, so you kind of get an idea. It's a pretty crappy card. And if you look at these read times, not so good, and the write times are absolutely horrific. And you can see here access time at 616 milliseconds, so that's almost 1 second. So this is pretty terrible for a card. And when I followed this to its benchmarking, this is my HDOK website. This was actually one of the lowest scores that has been recorded. So that tells you this is just an absolute horrific card. I did run a couple other apps trying to figure out exactly what kind of memory this really is. If it's 8 gig, 16 gig, 32 gig. And I can never really quite get the any of them to finish, so I'm not really sure. But it does seem like when it writes, it does it writes the data. It's just very, very slow. So if you want to write, let's say like 8 gig, you're looking at probably about an hour. That's pretty bad. So if you want to do like HD, not going to happen. If you want to do like 1080p, ain't going to happen. 720p, ain't going to happen. Maybe like a really crappy video, maybe it might be able to write to it. But even then, you might be pushing it with this thing. So it's basically, let's say, unusable. So anyway, that's kind of the specs on it. I did a bunch more, but like I said, they just would never, ever complete. And this one I actually got to get some useful data off it. So anyway, let's go back and take a look at the card again. So as you can see from the specs, it's pretty abysmal SD reader, but there is some good news. I did get my $10 back, so a good warning about this stuff. And pay with PayPal and check out the vendor's website, or whoever's selling, like Light in the Box, or a lot of these Chinese, like Wish is a horrific website for Chinese crap, and that's where this actually came from. But Light in the Box, Deal Extreme, a lot of those companies, since it's from China, you say, oh, it's defective, it's bad. Either they'll send you a new one, or they'll just refund your money and you don't send it back because it's, figure to send this back to China is going to cost you a fortune. Send from China to U.S., nothing. So for them, it costs nothing to ship it. So it's like money, But for you, if you had to ship it back, it'd be bad. Even on eBay, make sure that use PayPal and all that good stuff to pay for your things. And I'd be a little leery on eBay because you may have to ship it back just to screw you over. They'll make you ship it back, so you pay $10 to ship something that costs $10. But I did get my money back, and I kind of planned that from the beginning. I kind of knew that this was fake, very fake. Because think about it. Look on Amazon, look anywhere. Try find a 512 gigabyte SD card or a micro SD card. You're not going to find them. You might find an SD card, but you're going to pay like $200, $300, $400 for that. I think the biggest currently micro SD cards are 400 gig, and that's like $230. So think about it, $10 for 512 gig. I know you want to wish it is going to be true and be real, but it's not. So, but this guy turned out to be about 8 gigabyte. It's kind of hard to tell, but what it does, it kind of overwrites the existing files. It leaves the folders, which is, hey, the stuff's there. But you'll start seeing errors and crap like that. And so basically when you get to 8 gigabytes, it just kind of starts overwriting it, and your files are gone. But I did look on Verbatim's website, and this is a pretty darn close clone to their label. This is like their Pro model. I don't know if does it say Pro on here. This says X1 Class Premium. Oh yeah, they have Premium Pro, some other stuff like that. So they got the coloring right and the decal right, and it is shiny like their Pro stuff. But if you look really close at their website, they don't make a 512 gig card. They don't. I think the biggest they make is 128 gig or 64 gig. So they don't make really big SD cards. And that's on their website. So that should be another clue. So even though this is a branded one, it is a fake branded one. They did a nice job at the label because it does look pretty good. I think if you zoom in, you'll see it's a little ripply at the edge, on the edges and stuff like that. But it's probably good enough if you just took a quick glance at it, be fooled by it. But like I said, you'll see a lot of these on Wish, some other websites, even on eBay. People selling 512 gig SD cards all over the place. A lot of them aren't branded. A lot of them are branded. Usually anything unbranded SD card wise, I would want to steer away from. If it says micro SD card, don't buy it. It's junk. It might work, but over time, your data's going to be, hey, my data's gone. My data's gone. And this guy here is what I would call a big piece of crap. But I guess if you wanted to, you could go out, buy it, format it, put an 8 gig partition on there, and be happy with it. I mean, I don't like to really trust it. And what can you do with 8 gigabytes anymore? Definitely not going to put it in your phone and save your data to it. But for $10 and you get your money back, you get a little reader, a little case. So for free, I guess that's not too bad, for just a little bit of work. But, it is a fake. And we kind of went in knowing that's going to be fake, but hoping maybe it's real. But you know better. Come on, guys. We know. So I'm thinking I'm going to buy some more of these just for fun and send them back, just see what kind of I think I might maybe buy a smaller one, maybe like a 256 gig one. I know it's going to do the same thing, but maybe we'll get lucky. I doubt it though. So I suspect what they do is they get these defective ones, because the read and write speeds on these are horrific, absolutely horrific. So maybe they get some defective cards and change it so that it looks like it's changed the file table so it looks like it's bigger than what it is, and just set it to overwrite continuously. But it's been a scam that's been going on for a long time, especially like when the 16 gig cards came out. People were buying a lot of the cheap ones, and they're realizing they're like 2 gig. Same with the 8 gig when the 8 gig first came out a while back. That was a couple of years ago. You'd get maybe 2 gig, so they're using 2 gig ones to make it look like 8 gig, and kind of doing the same thing with this. They're taking 512 gig, which doesn't exist, or if it does, you're not going to be able to afford it, and making it overwrite. So you see a lot of that with the USB thumb drives. I know one of my buddies, he bought a 1 terabyte thumb drive. Yeah, think about that. Look online, find a 1 terabyte USB thumb drive. Those cost about, I think I could find them like about $500 to $1,000. So are you going to get a $20 terabyte USB thumb drive? Probably not. And that did the same thing where you start writing data to it slowly, write data to it, and then just start overwriting the data. So, they do the same thing with these two. So that's what these are. But, it was kind of a fun experience. And I'm going to try maybe do another one. I'm going to get a different size. Yeah, and I did spend like several days just letting it like hardware test and is this a fake SD card? Some of those little applications, determine what this really is, and really could never get it to finish. Or I guess it probably would finish if we had like 5-6 days to let it run. And I don't have that kind of time, but I can let it run overnight. So anyway, that's what you're going to get for $10, other than be sad if you tried using this thing, or you'll get some freebie toys. So what's worth nothing really. And clue is when you open it up, it says USB cable. That's never a good sign. And I like the fact that they are really stealing the branding from other companies. I wonder if Verbatim knows that they're doing that. I'm sure they do, because it's their products. It just makes them look bad. It makes everybody look bad. I mean, why would you want to do that? But it's very, very common on eBay. Everywhere. I think even I saw some of these on Amazon, not this one, but some 512 gig ones on Amazon. You see them, they come and go. And the reason you're selling stuff on Amazon, people are going to return the crap to you. So they're going to get returned. So they know that. But China, I guess it's probably risky enough that it's like, hey, if half the people get their money back, so what? They still making money. Probably every one they sell for $10 is probably junk that, what's this worth? Maybe 50 cents max, this little reader, this piece, the bag, and free shipping from China. Even if half the people ask for the money, even if more than half ask for their money back, they're still making in some big bucks. And that's kind of what China does, a lot of their cheap crap. So let's see, Micro, I was thinking maybe this would show some branding on it, but no. But anyway, there you go. Don't buy 512 gig SD cards, at least in April 2018, because they're fake. They're all fake. Maybe you might find one, but they're all fake. And especially if it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. So there you go, guys. Have a great day.